Okay.
perfectly fine.
Okay. Just making sure. Okay. Awesome. So we're back. This is the lab session for chapter 7, which is configuring and verifying switch interfaces. Okay. So a
Yeah.
couple of the things I'm going to cover, we're going to make it real quick. I don't want to harp too much on this. Okay. Um, but I'll answer any questions that are needed. But I'm going to be following the book as it touches on some of the topics. Okay. So for our
Yeah.
lab, we have two switches, right? We have switch one and we have switch two. Okay. Let's go ahead and give it a host name, switch two. Awesome. Okay. Same over here. Whoops. Awesome. Switch one. Great. All right. So, um, couple of the things that we're going to cover, right? Um, the chapter 7, it covered, network fundamentals 1.0. 1.1 explained the role and function of network components. 1.1.b, layer 2 and layer 3 switches. 1.3, compare physical interfaces and cabling types. 1.3.b, connections, Ethernet shared media and point to point. And 1.4, identify interface and cable issues, collision errors, mismatch duplex, and or speed. Okay. So let's go ahead and touch on IEEE negotiation concepts, right? We talked about what auto negotiation does, right? Auto negotiation gives the device on each link the means to agree to use the best speed without manually configuring the speed on each port. Okay. Auto negotiation also defines full duplex as the preferred option over half duplex, assuming both devices support that option. Those are two rules you guys need to remember and understand for the exam. Okay. As you guys can see, we have two links up. Let me clear the terminal. Right. Okay. Let's move this over here. Right. We have two interfaces, gigabit 0/0 on both sides. Okay. So let's check the status, right, of this interface. Okay. All right. Got that. And let's do the same thing here. Okay. We're going to just show interface gigabit 0/0, one of the verification commands that we learned about in the chapter. All right. So let's break this down. We have the port, right? Right. Gigabit 0/0. We don't have a description on the port that would go under name, right? We don't have that configured. We have the status of being connected. Okay. We have the VLAN of being one, right? But here's the bread and butter. Here's what we want to focus on. We have the duplex and the speed. In front of duplex, we have the A, right, with dash in front of full, right, connected to it. This signifies that this link was auto negotiated, right? And the duplex of full was chosen over half duplex since it is supported by the other side, right? The speed was chosen as well, but we don't see what the speed is. Make sense? So if we were asked what's the speed of this link, right? We need to verify it. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's do a show interface gigabit 0/0, right? And let's take a look, right? So first line, layer one and layer two. It's telling us layer one is up and layer two is up, right? This stands for layer one. Line protocol stands for layer two. Okay. And
Okay.
we have here, right, the bandwidth, right, in kilobits, but you can go ahead and convert it, right? It is 1 million kilobits per second. Okay. Right. What's a good way that we
Yeah.
can go ahead and take a look at that a little bit better? Let's do a show interface by itself, right?
Hmm.
Oh, and this is old code, so I do apologize. There is a better command. Give me 1 second. Right. Let's Let me go ahead and do that. So yeah, maybe it won't show in this since it's old code. But let me see if we can work something out. And maybe not. Nope. Nope. This is old code, so I won't be able to. But right, you guys still can. And typically right here, right, it'll show you what speed, what they negotiated about. Since this is old code, it is not going to have that. But right here, you confirm the speed, right? This is what's running, right? We are good to go, right? So let's talk about it being and setting the speed statically, right? Let's go ahead and do that, right? Let's go ahead and create the condition where we learned about as far as parallel detection. Okay. So parallel detection, what does that mean? That means one side is set to auto negotiation, the other side is not. Okay. So we'll leave switch one as it is. Let's go ahead, clear the interface, and let's manually configure the speed and duplex on this side. And we're going to make it not match the default, right? This is gigabit speed, so 1,000 megabits per second on both sides. We're going to go ahead and change it via software, the speed and duplex. Let's go interface gigabit 0/0. Okay, let's do speed. And what I like to do, I'm glad I mistyped. Let's go ahead and shut down the interface. Okay, let's go ahead and let the syslog pop out. Excellent. And let's go ahead and set the speed to 100. Oh, this is old code, so let's go ahead and disable auto negotiation. Let's see how to do that. There goes my preview. She's hopping in. There we go. All right, so we have our command. So again, this is old code. It still may relate. All right, excellent. So if we type in negotiation, right? Okay, so we can be able to undo it. So let's do negotiation and then auto. Okay, and let's confirm there's nothing else behind that. No negotiation, auto. So now we should be able to set our speed. Okay, let's do 100 and let's do our duplex, right? And we're going to leave that on. Right? Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and put it to half. Well, no, we'll do it to full, right? Because we want to create that parallel detection state, right? So now that we have that, let's bring up the interface, right? And let's just verify real quick what we have configured. Let's take a look at the interface. So let's do a show run interface gig 0/0. Okay, so here's what we have. We manually set the speed, we disabled auto negotiation, and we set the duplex to full. Okay, so in this, what I expect to see with this parallel detection state is the following from you guys, key topics, right? Switch one should be able to detect the speed, right? Using the fast link pulses, right? FLPs, right? And it's going to be able to detect that it's 100 megabits per second. Using the IEEE auto negotiation standards, if it detects that it's 100 megabits, 10 or 100 megabits per second, it is going to set the duplex to half. Let's see if that's true. Okay. Yes, it came up. And now let's go ahead and see what the speed is on the other side. Okay. Okay. So that is up. Let's go ahead and see what it looks like. Interface 0/0. Okay. So, and again, guys, this is old code. So just keep that in mind. We have auto duplex and auto speed, right? So we're not able to see more so the duplex and speed correctly. Let's look at the status, right? We have the duplex set to, of course, full, okay? And we have the speed set to auto, right? So this is different from what was explained, right? In the in the key topic. Mind you, this is old code, right? But right, with this code not matching up with what the book says, the book goes based off of the Cisco Catalyst 9000K series. So typically what would happen, go ahead and do this. Typically what would happen is if it is detected that the speed is between 10 or 100 on one side, right? The side that's in an auto negotiation state, switch one, is going to set its duplex to half. Okay. So just remember that for the exam. Let's go ahead and move forward. Any questions so far? Oh, there we go. We got a duplex mismatch. So we created that condition finally. Um, there we go. Yeah. So since we manually set it to half. So there we go. So we actually created a duplex mismatch, that condition. So, and how we did that, of course, is using this code. It went ahead and went from full, detecting setting it to full to half, right? So has to be the same on both sides. Half duplex, it sends traffic, right? One direction only. Full duplex sends it in a bi-direction. Okay. So whenever you set any manual settings and you disable auto negotiation, recommended by Cisco, you have to make sure that you manually set the settings on both sides, or you're going to start to have issues like we're having now. Okay, so let's go ahead and reverse this. Let's default the interface just to make it easy. There we go. Okay. And let's just double check config, and let's enable auto negotiation. Oop, I'm already here. Negotiation auto. Excellent. Let's check config. Show run. Gigs. All right. That's good. Everything is set. So just for good measure, let's go ahead and default that interface again. Awesome. Great. All right. So whenever duplex mismatch, right? You guys know, of course, how it responds if one side is set to auto negotiation, one side is not set to auto negotiation. So recommended. And of course, for the exam, make sure both sides are set statically and you have the same messages. Okay. And you have the same setting. I apologize. We've talked about in the chapter on a negotiation and LAN hubs. I cannot, I don't think I can emulate hubs in this lab. I don't have an image for a hub, so I can't perform that for you guys. We've talked about configuring auto negotiation speed and duplex. I just did that. You guys saw that. We went over a couple of the verification commands to show interface status. Okay. Of course, it didn't have the type column. It also did not have the actual speed. Because this is old code, and I'll work on getting newer code for you guys. But if you guys try it within, I believe your packet tracer, it should give us the results that we need. Just going over my notes, guys, so so I don't miss anything to cover. Um, You guys know about Auto MDIX. Um, we talked about configuring a description on the interface. We talked about configuring range. We talked about removing configuration with the no command. We've done that time and time again. I implore you guys to do that within your labs. Okay, awesome. Okay, all right. So that I think, because again, today was going to be a short lab. That covers that because typically most of the stuff that we covered in previous chapters, and I don't want to, go over stuff that we went through before and waste time. Any questions about chapter 7? And of course, since this is the last chapter of part 2, implementing Ethernet LANs, is there any questions regarding chapter 4, chapter 5, chapter 6, and chapter 7?
Dave, I do have a question regarding the current lab we just did,
Oh, sure.
Especially about the command when we run show int gigabit 0/0.
Yeah.
We were seeing a syntax or a line there. It was the third line where it says bandwidth 1000 kilobits per second.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, this is the link's speed that
Mm-hmm.
it agreed on. As we would make a change to the link,
Mm-hmm.
let's say from 1 gig to 100, for
Mm-hmm.
whatever the reason is, either
Mm-hmm.
we make a change or the link can only go that fast.
Yeah.
Are we going to see that here? Like, are we going to see the BW or a bandwidth changes to 10 gig, 100 gig, or so on?
That's a good question. So we shouldn't, because this is the burned in speed for the actual interface.
Interesting. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes,
Um,
I think, yeah, makes sense to me. I had a confusion at work, and I wanted to clarify here.
mhm.
It was in terms of the like a ether channel or LACP lags, but it may actually be a different case there, where we were not seeing anything, but I was getting the sense from everyone that this link, the bandwidth would actually be more of what the link's like a total speed is.
I
But
see
I
what you're
knew
saying.
this wouldn't.
I
Yeah.
see what you're saying. So no. I see what you're saying. So that's when we're talking about lag, right? That's completely different, right? Because what we're doing is we're configuring links per software, right? But that doesn't change per interface what is capable of each interface. You see what I mean?
Yes.
So we can actually test it out now. Hold on. So we have here we have 1 million kilobits per second, which transfer to 1,000 megabits per second, which of course 1,000 megabits per second transfers to 1 gigabit. Okay, can we agree on that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's try to do this. And I don't think, again, this is old code. So again, I want to reiterate the Cisco 200-301, right? This is going off of the Cisco Catalyst 9000 series. So it may be different. Okay. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. So if I do this, I'm already here. Excellent. Um, let's go ahead. We'll set the speed. Let's disable auto negotiation. Let's go ahead and set the speed. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and check this. All right. So in the case of changing the speed, the bandwidth, right? The software configured bandwidth does change whenever you run the show interface command. Okay. So it should reflect here. Gary, are you there?
Okay. Okay. I saw that it reflect. Does it mean that's the one? Like, sorry, that's the 100 Mbps speed right now,
That's
or a
this is
10,
the
sorry.
this is the 10. Yeah, this is the
Yeah,
10
this is
megabit speed.
10.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So also you can see here it changed here as well.
Okay, so it does make a change there. I
Hmm.
see. Um, we had a link failure
Hmm.
basically on the trunk, or sorry,
Hmm.
on the Ether channel.
Hmm.
One of the link was failed, so it was like error disabled. We
Hmm.
cleared the error, and then it started showing like a 2 gigs of link speed. Before it was showing 1 gig of a link speed, which is in theory that's like technically that's it should be.
Hmm.
Um, the reason why I'm confused or had some questions around it, because I understand with the learning from previous classes with OSPF, you can make a change to the bandwidth, but it won't reflect the change on your link speed. You know what I mean?
That's correct.
Yeah. So where is there? I don't want to get into too much detail. We can wait until the OSPF lessons comes.
Hmm.
But if it is something along those lines, we can wait. But
Yeah,
so
yeah.
far, I understand making a change, it does change the bandwidth.
Yep. Yep. And again, per software is the big thing that I want to drill down here, right? So you have to get on the box. If your job enables you to actually get on those 9K, if you have 9K switches, please get on the box and verify that those command match up with what's shared within the book. Because of course, just like how we saw today, since I'm running 12.5 or 15.5 software, this is deprecated code. Newer code doesn't reflect this. So just keep that in mind. But if you guys are running Packet Tracer, it does reflect that. Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions? Good question, by the way.
Thank you. It came from a real life,
Hmm.
and we were doing something very similar, so it was a perfect timing.
Hmm. For sure. Any other questions, guys? Everybody good?
Yeah, I'll drop my question in the chat throughout the week because I don't have my questions on me right now.
No, all good. All good. All right, guys. I'll go ahead and upload this video. And again, just like Marquivia shared, I implore you guys to do as well. If you guys have any questions that myself or anybody in the Discord can add value to, feel free to reach out. Okay.
Will do. Thank you.
All right, guys.
Thank
Later.
you.
All right, bye.